You never knew the truth behind the deaths of these superheroes in The Incredibles, but the next few minutes will finally reveal everything that was hidden from you. This superhero death was the saddest one in The Incredibles, and you never realized it! When Mr. Incredible returns to Syndrome's island for the second time, he finds Gazer Beam's skeleton left inside the cave. But most people don't realize how tragic his death actually was. Just like Bob, he was invited to the island for a secret mission, but he was badly injured fighting the Omnidroid. Instead of trying to escape, Gazer Beam hid inside a cave. With the little strength he had left, he used his powers to carve the password for Syndrome's computer into the wall, the word Kronos. He believed that one day another hero would find it and uncover the truth. And this reveals something important. This means all the supers died on the island. And besides Gazer Beam and Mr. Incredible, there may have been others who had access to the computer and were aware of Syndrome's evil plan to destroy all superheroes. But that raises a big question. How did Gazer Beam even know that Kronos was the password to get into the computer with the secret files? Did someone else tell him this word? And if yes, who could it be? Share your theory in the comments. But Gazer Beam isn't the only super with a tragic death story, because the next one is even more heartbreaking. This superhero was the first targeted and killed by Syndrome, but you never knew the real events. We know that Syndrome created the Kronos project to eliminate every superhero in a very strategic way. He didn't just build random Omnidroids, he carefully designed each version and arranged the supers in a specific order. But here's where it gets strange. As his first target, Syndrome chose Universal Man, which doesn't make sense. This superhero was actually one of the strongest supers in The Incredibles. He could fly fast like a gas, had superhuman strength, and could even create black holes. So why would Syndrome start with someone that powerful? The answer we find in Secret Files. Universal Man had low self-esteem and felt unsatisfied with his normal life as a civilian. After superheroes were banned, he lost his sense of purpose. And with the mental struggles he had been dealing with, it would have been hard for him to fight, even against the weakest enemies. But not every super failed the moment they faced the Omnidroid. Some of them actually managed to defeat it, even though death was waiting for them just a bit later. Did you know this super was the first ever to defeat an Omnidroid? Syndrome's plan to wipe out the supers worked extremely well. Even the earliest versions of the Omnidroid were already strong enough to kill many heroes. But with one superhero, everything went wrong. Macro Burst was the very first superhero who managed to destroy Omnidroid. He could control wind, letting him move at extreme speeds and even fly. With that same power, he could also create powerful wind blasts. That made him the perfect counter to the first Omnidroid, which was slow and clumsy. But that's where things get crazy. After Macro Burst defeated version 1, Syndrome immediately upgraded the robot into version 2. The Omnidroid no longer moved on roller wheels. It now had 2 powerful legs, making it much faster. That single upgrade removed Macro Burst's biggest advantage, and that's what eventually led to his death. Comment if you would like to know more about the lives of all the superheroes that Syndrome killed. But Macro Burst wasn't the only super who managed to defeat an Omnidroid. As the versions kept upgrading, there was eventually another hero who defeated one of the higher-level Omnidroids. When Bob discovers the list of supers killed by the Omnidroids, as the versions get higher, the robots become harder to defeat. But if you look closely, there's a super's name Gamma Jack, who actually managed to defeat Omnidroid version 5. But he wasn't just a regular superhero. Gamma Jack was part of the same team as Mr. Incredible, Frozone, and Gazer Beam. Even though he never appears in the movies, based on Syndrome's power rankings, he was ranked second among all the supers, right after Mr. Incredible. He could control massive radiation blasts that reached up to 100 meters, making him extremely powerful and almost impossible to stop. So how could someone that powerful be killed by the robot? Syndrome never built his robots randomly. He studied every battle, learned their weaknesses, and upgraded each Omnidroid to beat them. This means that after Gamma Jack defeated an earlier version, Syndrome designed the next one with anti-radiation defenses specifically to counter Gamma Jack's powers. But wait to find out about the death of the next superhero, because this could be considered the silliest death of all. Most of the superheroes targeted by Syndrome weren't able to destroy an Omnidroid, but a few of them actually managed to do it. and one of those heroes was Hypershock, and you will be shocked to find out about his power. Among all the supers on Syndrome's list, Hypershock is ranked third in power, right after Mr. Incredible and Gamma Jack. He could create massive shockwaves, trigger earthquakes, and deliver punches powerful enough to 6.0 on the Richter scale. With power like that, he should have been able to destroy an Omnidroid easily. But the next detail changes everything! Even though Hypershock was very powerful, he had a big weakness: his temper. He struggled with anger issues, had a drinking problem, and couldn't control himself. And Syndrome knew that. So when the second Omnidroid fought him, Syndrome didn't just depend on strength. He used Hypershock's emotions against him, and that's how Hypershock was killed. But the surprises don't stop here! This superhero death doesn't make any sense at first, but then you learn the real reason. When Bob goes to Edna to repair his old suit, she warns him to never wear a cape. She explains that many superheroes in the past died because of accidents with their capes, and we see a montage of several supers dying from it. But something doesn't add up here. From Edna's stories, Metaman died because his cape got stuck in an elevator. But with the powers he had, being able to fly, having super strength, and even teleport, this doesn't make sense. If his cape got stuck, he could have just torn it or teleported away. So what's really happened? His death was not an accident, but someone may have planned it. It was made to look like an accident, just to distract people from the fact that Metaman was actually murdered. We know that Syndrome was only one of the superhero's enemies, so it's not surprising that someone else could have been working on killing superheroes before Syndrome. But even though Syndrome managed to find and kill many superheroes, there are a few that he couldn't locate at all. These two superheroes were never found by Syndrome to be killed, and there is a reason for this. If you look closely at Syndrome's computer, two heroes from the Golden Age never appear on the screen. Phyronic, the hero who closed and once helped Winston's parents, and Phasmabolt, who was part of Phantasmic's team. So why didn't Syndrome target them? Recall when Mr. Incredible breaks into Syndrome's computer, he searches for Elastigirl's name, and in her profile, the system says that the location is unknown. That means Syndrome didn't have full information on every superhero. But how did the locations of some superheroes remain hidden? In Phasmabolt files, it says that she was extremely strict about protecting her secret identity. That means once superheroes were banned, she completely stopped doing hero work. She disappeared from the public eye, changed her life, and made herself impossible to trace. And since Syndrome couldn't find her, he couldn't target her. But what about Phyronic? Phyronic was close to the powerful people. They could protect him and hide him, which could explain why Syndrome never targeted him. But that also means nobody knows if he's still alive. Comment below which superhero you would like to know more about, and be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content dedicated to superheroes.